I know some of y'all probably losing connection as I speak or whatever. Professor, I'm gonna send you an invite real quick just to have you up here because I don't know what's going on with these Twitter spaces right now, man. But we got to talk about. There's been a lot of talk lately going on about black men being the emasculation of black men, and you've also had a lot going on. We're talking about the immigrants build the United States of America. So those are the two topics I want to touch up on tonight. Hopefully, y'all, I'm hoping that these spaces and stuff, everything will be cool. Where you know, and I just saw we just lost Professor as well too. Like yikes! Like what in the world is going on here, man? Like DJ, I know you in and out. Are you there? Okay, because we losing everybody, man. Like they here for a second and they falling off. So I don't know what's up with these Twitter spaces. Re-Rock, can you hear me clear too? Professor, he's back. Professor's back. Professor, can you hear me? Okay.
I can now, man. I don't know. This space trying to act up already, I believe.
Yeah, man, because everybody coming into space and then they leaving and stuff like that. Like, damn, like it's already acting up. Like the last 2 weeks, man, the space has just been just complete garbage around here. Like, I don't know what's going on the technical side.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Damn.
I see Sister I am Reebok. She's still in there. So
yeah, she's been the only one. What's up to my girl Diane on YouTube as well? She's been the only one that and DJ, y'all been the only two that's been up in here consistently. Volvo was up in here, Tony was up in here, Tech was up in here. And like everybody's coming and going, man. So I don't know what's up. I was in Rella Space yesterday, and I was in there as a co-host. Maybe about close to 45 minutes or an hour, and then it got to the point I couldn't even say anything in there. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't say anything. Rella was saying that's one reason that she's just been chilling herself. Like she hadn't been coming to these spaces because she hadn't been able to talk or hear anything in it. Like she hadn't been able to talk. That's why she hadn't requested to speak. So it's the same thing going on. That space we had Wednesday night. We was gonna get about the Alphabet Boys. They shut that down. I don't know if they shut it down or it was just the Twitter just being crap at this point. But they need to go ahead and fix this real quick. Volvo, I see you up in the space. I don't know if you having technical issues as well too, man. But I guess we'll go ahead and we'll try to get things rolling. I'm trying to let a few more people come in, but the way things looking, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get a whole bunch of people in because people that's in the space, they having issues like staying connected. What's up, Volvo? Have you been having some issues? I don't know if Volvo heard me or not. Volvo, you been having any issues in the space so far? Because I see you've been here a few times and disconnected. You having any issues? If you can hear me, let me know.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you kind of low, but I can hear you kind of low.
Let me see something. Hey, give me a headset, baby. Hold on, bro. Let me try it.
All right. Shout out to my people that's on YouTube as well. Y'all go ahead and please share, like, and subscribe to the channel for those that's on there. Yeah, I can go ahead and say something because you a little mumble, but go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you. You've been having some issues with the connection as well. I mean, my bad because my mic was muted. You've been having any issues with the connection so far?
Hell yeah. I don't know. It ain't really the connect, bro. Yeah, it is kind of the connection, and it's kind of I can't hear y'all.
That's the issues I was having yesterday too. When I was in Rella Space, I was a co-host, and after a while, I couldn't hear anybody.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know.
It's these Twitter spaces. They've been crap to pat. Go ahead.
I said, is you the only one having problems?
No, because I was in Rella Space yesterday and I had issues listening after a while. And she was saying that she stopped coming into spaces speaking because she couldn't hear her or nobody could hear her and stuff like that. So you got quite a few spaces having some issues right now. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. Well, yeah, man, let me go ahead. While we got people up in the space, man, let me go ahead and start trying to dig into this real quick because Yo, I was like, I want to do a Sunday night space, and I want to talk about all the emasculation and whatnot that's been going on with black men. But at the same time, I just want to touch up on some things as well. So I want to talk about, because an old videotape surfaced of Donald Trump speaking, and Trump was saying how black people built America. You know, not too many times you hear, and this is back in, I guess, 2019. Not too many times you hear actual presidents saying this right here, that black people build America and this and that. Is always a way of kind of slighting the accomplishment of what black Americans did. Oh, well, everybody did it. We did just as much as y'all. We did more and this and that. But he actually had an actual speech where he was talking about that not black people actually being given credit and deserve to be credit for the actual accomplishments of what they did in America, creating America, helping. He like, everybody helped. He like, but you guys really did it too. So even though I'm not a Donald Trump fan, I have to give him acknowledge that. I also got to talk about that cover that I don't know if it was Vogue or whoever had, when you had Rihanna on the cover and you got A$AP Rocky in the background. He kind of like low level. He holding the baby. He following behind her and whatnot. And she leading the way. You can see that strong black woman appeal. And you can see him like, hey, I'm trying to keep up, my lady. And she just, you know, is crazy. Like, and I know a lot of people say, well, you know, that's just a strong black woman or whatever. But at the same time, I think if you would have had a prominent black man that was in that same role, that he's way ahead and the woman's holding the baby and this and that right there, you have a lot of sisters, I think, that would be upset, say, well, hey, why can't they be side by side? Why can't they be walking together? Why does he have to walk in front of her? And you don't really get that feedback from a lot of our sisters. They cool with Rihanna leading the way, A$AP holding the baby. He look like he's on shaky legs and whatnot. So I found that to be kind of funny. And also we got the cover Ebony put out, where Ebony's got the actor Jonathan Majors, the one that's in Creed 3 and also in Ant-Man. And, you know, a lot of brothers got upset that Jonathan Majors was wearing an outfit what they consider that was, I guess, really flamboyant, really, I guess in their mind, it's suspect or whatever. Then you had last week at the Super Bowl, you had the wide receiver for, who was it, Kansas City? You had Juju Smith, Schuster. He had on what was almost like a dress kilt. Mind you, he's not Irish or Scottish, excuse me, and he's got on this dress, this kilt type outfit or whatever. Not to mention all of the other black men that's wearing things that a lot of people feel suspect. You see a lot of basketball players wearing these dresses / kilts. You see some of them have these little pocketbooks on the side and this and that. So the question was, are black men being emasculated in the United States? And I have to answer this and say, some black men are being emasculated. Not all black men. The black men that's been emasculated are the ones that want to be emasculated. For one, and I had to kind of check myself on this. You know, I was talking to somebody and they was like, yo, nobody's making these black men get up there and wear these skirts and these dresses and these outfits and doing all this other stuff. They're doing this because they want to do it. Sure enough, white folks want to show them in the most feminine way possible. They want to show them looking suspect or weak or whatever. But hey, you got a bunch of black men willingly going up here wearing these outfits. Like, nobody's twisting their arm. Whatever bag they're receiving, they're more than willing to take that money and go up there and look like that. The vast majority of black men, I would figure 90% of us in this country ain't going to sit up there and ain't going to wear no crap like this. We're not going to, there's certain roles we're not going to play. You know, it's certain lines we're not going to recite. There's certain outfits that's just a no-no. But then you got a group of black people in this country that will wear this stuff, that will do this. So we can't sit up here and say, well, you know, the white folks are making them do this, or white folks. No, a lot of these Negroes are doing this because they want to do it. They enjoy doing it. They think that it's going to put them closer to getting at the top of the food chain. So they have absolutely no problem, no issue wearing dresses and skirts and having stockings on and having wigs on their heads and stuff like that. So the question of, are black men being emasculated in this country? The question is, it's a yes and no. It's not a simple question. Like, yes, a certain demographic of black men are being emasculated in the United States, but the vast majority of us are not. But all it takes is a small demographic to put on TV and show like, hey, it's okay. You got a ball player, a big physical football player wearing a skirt. Or you got one of your favorite rappers up here wearing a skirt. You got a basketball player with a little pocketbook on his hip. So no, I won't say that black men are being emasculated. I was saying that you have a certain demographic of black men in this country that are willing to take a paycheck, that are willing to get up here and make that money at any means necessary. A bunch of them that's willing to sell out. They don't care about masculinity. They don't care about how they're seen. As long as they can get a check, as long as they can get close to the dominant society, they're willing to go ahead and take that money. They're willing to go ahead, sell out, and put a little pep in their walk for the general public. So no, I don't believe black men are being emasculated. I believe that you have a demographic of black men that's willing to be emasculated. And because of that, you have a small percentage of black men that don't care about how they look, how they perceive. That white America and the media, a conglomerate behind them, love to put them out there front and center, love to show like, hey, if a big physical ball player can go ahead and wear a skirt, then so can you. And they're trying to appeal to a younger demographic, the teenagers. They're trying to show them that, hey, you don't have to worry about what anybody says. If it's okay for so-and-so, it's okay for you. Volvo, I'm going to go ahead and let you cook. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, brother, you're absolutely right. It's the money. There's the money, too. That's a major factor in why they put on them dresses and shit like that. I ain't never had no desire to put on no woman's nothing. Like that's just some wild shit to me. What's the guy? What is his name? The guy on the cover of the magazine?
His name is talking about the Jonathan Majors dude.
Yeah, that's a big. That's supposed to be a big, tough, strong black man. He ain't that the guy in the Rocky 3 movie? I mean, the new Rocky, the Creed.
Yeah, that's him in the Creed 3.
That's him. Yeah, like you said, bro, you know, some of these motherfuckers, they just want to put on a dress. You know what I mean? Like, that's one, man, ain't no way, man, you gonna give me, I don't give a fuck how much money you give me. I'm not putting on no dress. Now, in my life, I done did some crazy shit to get some money. I done did some fucked up shit, some shit that I ain't proud of. But never will I emasculate myself or degrade myself or none of that type of shit about no money. I don't give a fuck how much money. I'm okay. I'm from the project. I know how to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, I know how to get on the bus. Like, I'm going to be all right. You know what I mean? But it just ain't no way you're going to get me to put on no dress as a man. Period. Like, you know what I mean? And like you said, ain't nobody forcing these dudes to put on no dress. I mean, well, they kind of is because they giving them either you put this dress on or that's the end of your career. Sometimes you gotta be okay with that just being the end of your career. Like, that's just what it is. I'm gonna make some YouTube videos. Like, that's like the guy. It was a show I used to watch called The Shy. I don't know if y'all seen it.
I heard of it, but I never seen it.
Yeah, it's one of the guys on the show was supposed to mess with a transgender person. That was like how they rooted it. I guess that was like the script. You know, I stopped watching it. There was too much gay shit going on. I just can't keep following. But anyway, he was like a gang leader, and he was supposed to mess with a transgender person. And and he said, I can't do it. What they did is they recast the guy. They recast it and made him something. They killed him off, but kind of recast the character. They did it in a real sneaky way. But that guy, you don't see that guy doing nothing no more. He ain't in Hollywood no more. He ain't in Hollywood no. It ain't no reason why he shouldn't be in Hollywood. He was a good actor. You know what I mean? He was young. He a handsome man. He black. You know what I mean? It ain't no reason why he shouldn't be in Hollywood. They blackballed him. You know what I mean? So I guess that's the game. Like, you got to be willing to make the sacrifice, or you got to put that dress on, and then you're gonna move forward.
Hey, real talk. Jim Brown just turned 87, I think, yesterday or the day before. Could you imagine Jim Brown putting on a goddamn dress, having a purse on his hip, or playing some of the roles that these Negroes will play today? I mean, that's what I'm saying. And Bobo, I'm agreeing with you on everything, but I don't think all of these Negroes, they come and say you got to wear a dress with either. I think some of them, they suggest it. And then a lot of these Negroes like, hey, I'm cool. Yeah, I put that dress on. It's a lot of black people, you know, that's actors and stuff like that. Nobody made Eddie Murphy put a dress on. You know, let's be honest. Eddie Murphy was a mega star when he started doing the Nutty Professor. Like, nobody made him put a dress on. Eddie Murphy thought that, hey, it might be funny or whatever. And I get I get that certain people say, well, this is a sense of humor, whatever. You're doing this in a movie role or whatever. But the thing is that a lot of these guys nowadays, this is not even part of a movie or a skit or whatever. You got guys going to award shows, putting on dresses and skirts and kilts and talk about kilt. Like, how the hell? Why are you black? Why are you wearing a kilt? I didn't even understand that when R. Kelly had it on. No black man sitting up here talking about, well, I have Scottish ancestry and all this other nonsense. No, my boy, you're wearing a dress because you like to wear the dress. You can call it a kilt or whatever. Like I said, that don't have anything to do with your lineage, your culture, your heritage, your nationhood, nothing. You're putting on dresses and kilts and skirts and stockings and pocketbooks and all this other nonsense and stuff because that's what you feel comfortable in. That's what you like wearing. If that's what you feel comfortable in, like wearing, then fine or whatever. Who are we to sit up here and say anything about? But at the same time, like I say, I think this is going to a bigger thing. This is they're not trying to get anybody in this space. They're not trying to get, they're not even trying to get the 25-year-olds or the 30-year-olds or the 40-year-olds. They're trying to get the 12, the 13, the 14, the 15, the 16, the 17, the 18-year-olds to say, hey, this is where it's at. True manhood means that you can get in touch with your feminine side, that there's nothing wrong with having a feminine side and this and that or whatever. So that's really what the appeal is all about. How can we get the younger generation to sit up here and say, hey, because we're already to that point that we already sit up here and a lot of stuff that we grew up like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Even your kids ask you questions like, well, what's wrong with that? And you have to explain like, well, what's wrong? Well, they're doing it on TV and this and that. What's wrong with that? Professor, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. This whole black emasculation thing that's being played out is a disgrace, and I am not down with it. I hate seeing all this shit being played out on TV, in the movies, in these commercials. You see black men being portrayed in the same way with some white man in eHarmony. Like I seen that commercial. Gay black man and a white man kissing in a commercial. Y'all, this shit is it's just being put everywhere. It's like all this shit is just being promoted, and I'm tired of seeing all of that. Now, I understand we got gay people in the community. That's fine. But do we have to have all this promoting it in every damn thing? Like, they really kind of overdoing it with the promoting of it. And it's almost like they're trying to basically promote it straight to the black community to make black men out to be just feminine. And I'm sorry, you're not going to get me to go along with it. I'm not down with it. And I remember, I think it was Terrence Howard that said that he was actually getting away from Hollywood because that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah, Professor, you remember we had that space on that night.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. And see, I don't blame him. I think for any black man in Hollywood, if they trying to get you to do these roles, step away from it. Hell, if it comes down to it, what those black brothers can do, black American brothers can do, is join together and build up their own theatrical company or build up their own distribution company. Man, they all got the money to do it. Because we talking about what? Denzel, Samuel, who else? Forrest Whitaker. All these brothers, man, are champion A-list stars. Okay? They can build up their own empire. They don't need to be going out there and having to depend on white Hollywood, because that's what these folks trying to do. They want to put black people in their own. They want to depict black people the way they want to depict us, and we just can't allow it, man. We're gonna have to pull ourselves away from all of this bullshit that white America is throwing at us, y'all. We got to pull away from it because they want us to be portrayed in some fucked up way, gangsters or gay or basically just people that just downtrodden, just don't have shit going on, This is how they want us to be portrayed, y'all, and we can't have that. Which is very important why we have to get our media company up and running. Robert Johnson, I'm going to go back to this, y'all. Robert Johnson did a disservice to the black American community when he sold out BET. He did a major disservice, and I knew when he sold out, it was gonna come back to bite Black America, and it has. I'm gonna land my plane there.
You got it, Volvo. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say one of the top dress wearers gave us the game, though. Tyler Perry. He gave us the game. I don't agree with all that dress shit, but he gave us the game. He built his own studio. Tyler Perry Studios don't need nobody for nothing. He ain't got to go to Hollywood for nothing. Matter of fact, Hollywood coming to him to film shit. He got a replica White House. So if you want to film some White House shit, like a White House movie or that's, something like that, they got to go to Tyler Perry Studios and film that shit. So I mean, like the brother said, niggas need to start building their own shit. Like that's where we at now with it. It ain't that hard to shoot a movie as it used to be. You know what I mean? Now, like if you got the props, you got the cameras, you got the money, you can get it done yourself. You can shoot a top level Hollywood production yourself. Like you can do that yourself. So I mean, if that's the way that Hollywood going with it, let me say this too, right? The women need to watch out too with this shit. Now, I don't want to go too far off topic, but I feel like this ties in. When they sitting black women in front of on the Senate floor and they asking her what's a woman, and she can't say what's a woman, that's the same thing to me. Because now because that's a man putting on the dress claiming to be a woman. And now they got our black women agreeing with that, saying, I don't know what a woman is. How you don't know what a woman is? That's this dress wearing shit. You know what I mean? Like this is we know what a woman is. You know what I mean? But hey, it is this the way they going with this shit, and it's gonna be somebody got to make a stand. People got to make a stand. But I mean, that's what we doing now. We all don't agree with this shit. We don't agree with that. And we just got to continue to make that look silly. And it ain't no way we can make them stop. But we can say that we don't agree with that shit. And that shit's silly. And that's not who we are as a people. We don't give a fuck what they talking about.
Real quick, I'm going to say this right here too. And I've said this time and time again. I've said it in spaces. But two of the biggest groups that actually back this stuff and push this stuff, of course, we know was Hollywood. The second biggest group was the Democratic Party. They both got together in the late 1960s, and they both went ahead and started formulating this type of stuff right here. And the whole thing was to go ahead and try to push it on us. So from the 1960s up into now, they have been actually trying to do this thing right here. They've been pushing this agenda since the late 1960s. You could talk about the free love era and the hippies and this and that. They tie all this stuff together. Women's lib, the free love movement, civil rights, they tie it all together, sexual expression, all that stuff, and they put it together and they say, well, it's all part of one. It all encompasses one. So if you're gonna be for one, you got to be for all. Hollywood's been pushing it. Hollywood always had a champion in the back in the Democratic Party. Say what you want to about Republicans. I'm no Republican. I'm no Democrat either anymore. Used to vote Democrat, don't vote it. But Republicans, as bad as they are, rarely do they push this kind of stuff like that. Now they'll push it because they want actual, they may want some votes and stuff like that. They want the swing vote, so they have to kind of ease up on their stance a little bit as well too. But it's been pushed by Hollywood for the most part, and Hollywood had a champion in the Democratic Party, and it's not gonna go anywhere. You can look no further than Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, especially Michelle. Whenever anybody came out with some stuff like that, she was the first to get on and tweet it and thank them and this and that or whatever. Like Volvo said, like what you do sexually is your business. That there's no problem with it or whatever. That's what you want to do. But to make like such a big deal that somebody says I'm gonna come, and then we got to throw a parade or whatever, I never understood that. And like I said too, also Volvo. And like you said, the thing that you're saying about the black men that, hey, we got the Denzels and we got we got all these top-notch actors and stuff like that. I think you also got to kind of look at these top-notch actors that's been getting fed by Hollywood for all these years. They're at the age now. Denzel's what, 70 or close to 70? Samuel is in his 70s. They're not going to walk away from the establishment to actually try to create something new. if you were going to do that, you would have to have a younger generation of black men that's going to sit up here and say, hey, you know what? We getting screwed over. We getting raked over the coals. Let's go ahead. We got the star power. Let's go ahead and create our own. But now with the whole diversity issue and everything else that's championed, not only in Hollywood, but all throughout the actual country, to go ahead and try to form something like that, best believe it's going to be a drawback. It's going to be a kickback against it. It's going to be a blowback against what you're trying to do. So you have to have strong-minded black men and black women that's going to sit up here and actually push this and do that. But so many of our people are in love and tied to the Democratic Party that even though, you know, they believe that what they're doing is wrong and it's nonsense, they're not going to totally diss it because they don't want to see the Democratic Party get ousted by the Republicans. So they're going to go along with this. They're going to sit up here and they're going to take it. They're going to mumble under their breath. They're going to, at family reunions and family gatherings, they're going to sit up here and say that this is nonsense. This shouldn't be going on, this and that or whatever. But when it's time to go in there and cast that vote and that ballot, and you got that curtain drawn back and nobody can see who you're voting for, they're going to go right ahead and go Democrat. Because at the end of the day, that's what the salvation is for the black race. That's what they believe, that, hey, and we're going to make it in this country, we have to go, and we have to go with these people that's been our buddies since the 60s. Even though these people have just put all kind of nonsense that's really crippled black folks and stuff as well, too. So I definitely don't think you're going to ever you'll never get the top level, you'll never get the top level black stars. You can't get the black stars in sports, anything, to speak up now and say anything, because if you say something that's considered insensitive, if it's anything that's considered anti-Semitic, anti-LGBTQ, you're going to be chastised, you're going to be stripped of what you have, and you're going to have to publicly apologize in front of the whole country and the world. That's going to be the consequences if you speak your mind and you say something up. So you really almost have to be careful of what you say. We saw when and I didn't watch the Grammys. I hadn't watched the Grammys in years, but from what I understood, Beyonce, she won the award and she had to she was thanking the LGBT community and the black queer community and stuff like that, which is fine. What about thanking the black community as well? Because let's be honest here, there is no black queer community without the black community. Every black queer person on this planet came to be because of heterosexual sex. So why not thank the actual the black heterosexuals as well? Why not just say let me thank the black community? You ain't gotta say black heterosexual. Let me thank the black community. Because the people before Destiny Child became a major pop over a pop crossover stars, before this and that, when Beyonce was with Destiny Child, it was black people buying their music. And as black people start buying it, and black people are the ones that get a stamp of approval. When everybody see black people dancing and stuff and buying it, then they say, okay, well, the colors, they like it. The colors, they're vibing to it. They're getting down. I mean, let me listen to, oh yeah, this is okay here. I'm going to go out and buy it too. So before Destiny Child, before she became the solo superstar, Beyonce, when she was in Destiny's Child, back in 97 when they came out, it was black people. It was Wyclef, and it was them getting together and doing the remix to the songs they had and stuff like that. So why not give the black community a shout out? And I think that was even the case last year at the Grammys. I think, or it was one of those MTV Awards or something like that. And what's the girl's name that be at Janelle Monáe? She gave a shout out to everybody. LGBTQ, black queer, black this and that. And I'm saying that all of the people, like everybody's giving a shout out to the black queer community, the LGBT community, the black LGBT community. Everybody, they gave a shout out to black women, but you didn't give a shout out to no black man. I remember Janelle Monáe when she got no shout out to black man, no shout out to just the regular black community. So once again, we're getting now to specializing and slicing and dividing everything up. So now people, we not only have to worry about the actual clash between sexes with black men and black women, now we have to worry about the clash of sexes between the heterosexuals and the actual gay community, the LGBTQ community. Now then we got to slice it down to the trans community. So we constantly dividing ourselves up as a people. We can't just say, well, let me thank black people, the people that actually created all of the damn music forms in this country. Because without black people actually creating these damn music forms, none of us would have an award up here. None of us would have something that everybody around the world would be gravitating toward. So let me thank the black people in America. We can't do that. We have to go ahead and say she had to, because Beyonce got checked for going over there in one of those Arabian countries. I forgot which one it was. They said it was supposed to be anti-LGBTQ. She went and performed, got paid $24 million. So they was getting on her ass for that. So she had to come up there when she did get her award. She had to say, well, let me go ahead and thank the black queer community and the black, I mean, like, hey, what about the regular just black community? Don't the black community deserve any love, any shout out, any props? The black community been holding it down for you. They were your biggest fans from day one. You know, they helped you guys become crossover stars. They helped you shoot into superstardom. So doesn't the black community deserve to get something? And every time you have one of these award shows, your boy Billy Porter come out here and he's busting his dresses. They having the one award show some months ago. They had like they was having people like they had the LGBT coming out getting married and this and that. Like I say, hey, if that's what you do, fine, that's what you do. But at the same time, if you say something about it, you're the bad guy. You can't sit up here and say something about it. So I'm just at this point in time, like it's like no matter what award show comes up, black people, you know, they have to kind of just take a seat back and not say anything and just be like, okay, well, let's give a shout out to everybody else. Let's give a shout out. We can't just say thank you. Let me thank the black community because of you guys right here. I'm up here where I'm at. If it had not been for the black community, I don't think the black LGBTQ shot you to superstardom by themselves because for one, they're too small. So the black LGBTQ, the black trans community, the black queer community by themselves could not have made Destiny Child into the superstars that they were and made Beyonce reach superstar status. The black community helped to catapult you into superstardom. Volvo, you got it.
Yeah, I just want to say, you know, me personally, I like the division. I like that, you know, that it's you know that we divide ourselves up because I don't want to be around everybody, bro. You know, that's just me. I've been like that my whole life. Like if you wanna, I'm not saying like I got gay people in my family. I don't care. I love them like family. I don't care what you do in the bedroom. But if you gonna try to crowbar that shit into everything and all that, I don't want to be around you then. Like period. If you gonna come around me and say I'm gay and that's what I choose to do. You ain't gotta you ain't trying to make me gay or make me accepted and all that type of shit. Then yeah, you can come around. I don't care what you do with your personal life. But you know what I mean? Like my thing is this. I feel as though that's how we got into this situation. Letting too many new ideas come in. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to stick to what you know. You know what I mean? Like it ain't nothing wrong with that. Like there's too much variety causes confusion. All these extra ideas and all these people that we got to fight for and all that, they don't stand for what we stand for. These people don't know what they is. Listen, bro, you can't be all inclusive on everything. Like that's like a public bathroom. A public bathroom, it belongs to everybody. So it belongs to nobody. Something that belongs to everybody don't belong to nobody. You know what I mean? Like, so anybody go in there and just misuse it and abuse it, and you don't got to worry about cleaning it up. Now, your personal bathroom, you ain't going to let everybody in there. You going to have your little charger off to the side, your cigarette lighter, your ashtray, your magazine. You know what I mean? You going to have, you going to have it set up, you know, your comfortable rug and all that shit in your personal bathroom. You know what I mean? They turning this shit into a public bathroom, in my opinion. You know what I mean? If that's a good analogy. They making this shit for everybody. I don't believe that all these different ideas should come in.
That's the best analogy, bro. Damn.
Oh, that's a good analogy? I appreciate that too.
Hey, I've been a porter my whole life, if you know what that means, a porter. You know, so, and the women's bathroom the worst. Sorry, ladies. You know, so. Yeah, though, but I mean, like, you can't just let everybody in. If that's what you believe, I disagree with it. Stay over there. You know, I want to be around like-minded individuals. I feel like that's how you get stuff done. Like, if you watch a football team, everybody got to be on the same page to score the touchdown. You can't just have everybody just running all over the field. Everybody got a job to do. You know what I mean? You can't really, I mean, it's cool to be an individual and have your own mind, but we got to stick to our morals and our values. We just can't have everybody around, man. That's my opinion.
Real talk, Professor. You got it too. And I also, y'all, I want to hear y'all opinion on the whole thing that immigrants built the United States of America as well too. Because like I said earlier, I was talking about Donald Trump back in 2019 was pretty much conceding to the fact that it was Black Americans, and Marcel actually posted it on his page that it was Black Americans that contributed so much to the actual creation of this country, and that finally they were getting some of the due. And of course, we know we ain't got nowhere near the amount of credit that we deserve here. So I will give Donald Trump a shout out for that, for at least acknowledging that. I know that that was back in 2019. Rarely do you have any Democratic presidents that sit up and acknowledge it. It's always this thing that it was immigrants built this country, and immigrants, and like I said before in an earlier post too, that's a way of excluding the accomplishments that Black Americans did, that this is a nation of immigrants and all this other kind of stuff you start hearing them feeding into. Like, no, this country is mostly immigrants in it, but there were two groups of people that are not immigrants to the United States of America. One being Black Americans. Black Americans are not immigrants to the United States of America, and the Native Americans. I know that's a big point of contention now, because we got, you have the Black natives and you got the actual Mongolian natives, but however you want to slice it, there were people that were Native Americans, whether you want to say the Mongolians or Black, whatever. There were people that was here that also are not immigrants. Black people built the United States of America. They built the actual continental United States of America. They're not immigrants. There was no United States of America until Black people went out there and they built this. So for everybody sitting up here saying that this is a nation of immigrants, for the most part, you're right. But it's not completely a nation of immigrants, because Black people actually created the United States of America. They made it. So they, in terms of their labor, they built it. So no, everybody's not an immigrant in this country. We're not immigrants. There was no United States of America before we got here. There may have been land that you want to say, but this land was not cultivated. This land was not, we built the continental United States. We built the United States of America. Once the Civil War took place and large parts of the South was actually destroyed and burnt down, we also helped with the rebuilding of the actual Deep South as well, too. So everything is not equal, my friend. And I just have to go ahead and say that. You can go ahead and keep saying that. And who is this Arab woman running her mouth? I don't know what her damn name is, but every time she gets a chance, she's taking shots at Black people and stuff like that. So who is this actual woman that's sitting up here running her mouth? She's an Arab, a Muslim, or whatever, sitting up here taking shots at Black Americans and everything else. I don't know. I know they've had spaces on her. I can't remember her name, but if y'all know her name, I see Ray. I'm trying to bring you up as a co-host, but I want you to go ahead and drop out of the space, because let me see if I can because they got you. They still talk about 2 people can't be, or 3 people co-hosts or whatever. So come out the space if you can, Ray, because I'm gonna try to bring you up as an actual I may just bring you up as a speaker right now, whatever. I tried to bring you up as a co-host, so I don't know what's going on, but
let me drop down. Hey, Ray, come get this co-host spot, because I'm out here on the plantation, bro.
Ray he just went out, so he'll be drop down to DJ. Now let me see if I can bring Ray up. Then I'll take you down myself. And
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So then let me go ahead and see, Ray, if I can bring you up here. All right, Professor, and then Volvo Professor. If y'all know who is the Arab woman running her mouth, sitting up here, always talking about, and she had a little post about this is what is this white supremacy? She had all these Black pictures of people up here. She's running her mouth talking about Black people or whatever constantly. I guess because this is a problem that a lot of Black people have when you have a lot of immigrants start to come in the country. They start taking shots. They see where their bread is buttered. They look at the sure way of trying to actually rise up in the ranks is by attacking Black people. They think that is the sure way of being accepted in America. Oh, let me go ahead and get on them because they're at the bottom of the totem pole. She's sitting up here running them off. I guess she had a failed attempt in Congress. I can't even remember her name, but I know she's been going on. I saw some spaces held on about her. She's talking noise about Black Americans. And the crazy thing is that all these immigrants benefit off of the labor and the death and the suffering that Black Americans put forth in this country. All of them sitting up here running their mouth. All of them benefit from programs and stuff like that. 70 years ago wasn't even possible in this country, but because of Black Americans, they can sit up here and they can get stuff, and they sitting up here running their mouth talking about Black Americans this, Black Americans that. Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, it's this lady. I think I'm saying her name right. Shukri Abdirahman. She's Somalian. She also supposedly served in the American military, and she is married to a Caucasoid. Yet she has a lot to say about Black American reparations, and of course about us getting over slavery. As she said in another space here, I think 2 nights ago, she said that Black Americans really should move on from slavery and really should move on from reparations. This is what she said in one of those spaces the other night. Yep.
And what she should really do is pack her bags and move on back to Somalia, wherever she comes from, and go ahead and bring Somalia into the 21st century and stop some of the senseless killing and the ethnic cleansing that's going on in her own country before she comes over here telling Black Americans what we should do. She should go back to Somalia, go ahead and help them update and become the 21st century with the roads and highways and sewage and everything else, mass transportation. Go ahead and make sure that public education is something that every Somalian child can go ahead and get. Improve the actual healthcare structure over there in that country. Get a real political system. Get rid of some of the caste system that's going on in your own country before you come over here living in a glass house throwing stones, because no Somalian is in position to sit up here and tell us what we should or shouldn't do in this country here, a country that we founded, a country that we helped establish, a country that we helped make into one of the greatest countries in the world. For all the issues and troubles that this country has, and it is many, we went ahead and we made the sacrifice that she can go ahead and she can come over here and she can run her mouth talking about. So, not to cut you off, Professor, but go ahead.
Yeah, I really got upset listening to her, and then there was another one that was a foundation of Black American that got up in that space, running her mouth too. But that's what we have, y'all. We have our own foundation of Black Americans who are cooning, and then we got to deal with these other Blacks, of course, the ones that look like us, who are cooning. And this particular one here, this Shukri, the ramen lady, is married to a caucasoid. And remember, this is what I've been saying about having Black faces that are married to white people. A lot of times they really can't decipher on whose side to be on. And I hate to say it like that, but it's true. Once again, let's just look at Clarence Thomas, married to a white woman, and what does he do? He coons. Same thing with this woman, she's cooning. So, yes, that's her, y'all, and she's gonna be all over these spaces running her mouth because she's been doing it again today. Now, with that being said, with the emasculation of Black men, everybody, this here has really gotten to me too, because we have a lot of these so-called transgender people, right? If that's what you want to be, go ahead and be that. But they would come into these spaces, and they would be talking about how they should, I guess you would say, leave our community. Like, I think it was one that came up in here, in one of your spaces, Total, that was talking about they basically have to separate themselves from our community because our community ostracizes them. See, this is what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, now you might be gay or whatever you want to be, but when people look at you, they see Black. They see Black. You have to put your Blackness first. But see, a lot of them don't want to put the Blackness first. They want to put the gay shit first. See? So that's what that one was saying up in here that night when he was talking about, our community, we need to look in the mirror. Our community is ostracizing us. That's why I had to separate. We have to separate ourselves from you guys. Goddamn, if you want to separate, get the fuck out. That's how I feel about it. Get out. Get out and don't come back, because I'm tired of hearing from you folks that sit up here and talk this gay shit like you better than the Black community. You're Black. So when they pull you over, are you going to tell them that you're gay? You think they're going to give a damn? You think those cops going to give a damn? They're going to look at you and say you're Black. And then they're going to commence to buck you up. And you tell them you gay, but they're going to still beat you down. Hell, they beat down Black women. Okay? They pounce on Black women. So they're going to pounce on you. So you think because you gay, you're going to get a reprieve from the police officers? Y'all, I want y'all to answer that. Do y'all think these gay motherfuckers gonna get a reprieve?
Hell no.
If a police officer pull them over?
Hell no.
Hey, officer, my name is T.S. Giselle. I'm the best ever. I'm transgender, officer. Please take it easy on me.
And
I mean,
just to add what you're saying, Professor, and this is not all of the ones in the in the Black LGBT community, but you have quite a few of them that do have a lot of disdain for actual, I guess the heterosexual Black community. Why? I don't know. You know, I guess someone felt like when they were growing up, they were being picked on and this and that. And here's our thing that heterosexual Black kids picked on heterosexual Black kids. So I mean, like, let's just keep it a buck. Everybody in this room has been cracked on from the time they was growing up. If you had any kind of deficiency or whatever, a person got on you. If your hair was too nappy, you was fat, you was skinny, you was dark skinned, you was light skinned, you was whatever. You had buck teeth or whatever. You were cross-eyed, whatever it was. Somebody was going to crack on you and get on you. So the simple fact to sit up here and say that, hey, that everything that has gone wrong is because of the heterosexual Black people in this community. I can't go along with that, man, straight up or whatever. But I'm with you on that, Professor. If you don't like being part of the Black community, then you by all means go and step. I mean, nobody's keeping you here, nobody's saving you here. We have those that's in the LGBT community that's Black, and they proud of being Black, and they Black first. And we look at them as our brothers and sisters. You don't have to always agree with somebody in your family does. That's something else I don't understand. Like, plenty of times a parent does not like what their kids do. That don't mean you disown your child. A lot of times people in their family don't like what other family members do. That don't mean you disown a family member. Hey, you may not agree with a certain lifestyle that somebody's living, but that's still your family, and you still gonna be there for them. You still got love for them. So the simple fact that you say, oh, well, this and that or whatever, and the simple fact, like, man, every damn right you got, and it's not a whole lot of rights, but whatever little bit of rights you got in this country came majority from heterosexual Black people. They were the ones that was front and center, sacrificing their life. So to sit up here and talk all this noise or whatever about Black straight people ain't doing this or doing that, like I say, it was heterosexual sex that brought you into this world as well too. So if we really want to go there, I know a lot of people don't want to go there, but if we really want to go there, it was actually heterosexual sex that brought you into this world. So I'm not trying to take any shots at people, but I'm just being real.
Newstoter, you just said it right there, bro. 100. When you say, hey, it was heterosexual sex. See, that's why when you up in here in these spaces hating on the heterosexual Black Americans, get the fuck out of here. How you think you got here? How you think you got here? Now, these fudge packers better understand that you got here because of heterosexual sex. You didn't get here because you were sticking that thing up in another dude's booty hole, okay? You didn't get here that way. You got here the other way. It was Adam and Eve. It was not that Adam and Steve shit, okay? Not that, okay? That's what we're trying to get you to understand. So that's why when they come up in here, I ask them, which one are you? You need to make up your goddamn mind. Which transformer are you going to be today? You're going to turn into the man, or you're going to turn into a woman? Which one are you? You got to make up your mind here.
Now, I'm gonna just be honest, Professor. Like I said, I don't care what any grown person does in the privacy of their room or whatever. If that's what you want to do, fine, man, by all means. But just go ahead and keep that Black first type mindset as well, too. Don't sit up here and saying that, hey, like, you're on a whole different plane of struggling and this and that or whatever, or your life is harder because you're this or that. Because people in general, and that's not all, but most of the time, you wouldn't even know a person was gay unless they actually told you they were gay. So let's not sit up here. But you can see a Black person coming up the street, and you can say, "Oh, that's a Negro there. That's a nigga there." They'll say that.
But Newstoter, the thing about it, man. See, I don't mind if they, because like you said, if you're in your privacy of your bedroom, hey, what goes on in your bedroom is your business. But see, these folks would get up in these spaces, and they would try to say that they going through a harder life. See, I heard that in one of the spaces. It might have been your space, Newstoter, where some of these folks were coming in, transgenders, and they were talking about how hard their damn life is. But damn it, man, you made a choice. See, we didn't make the choice to be Black. See, when you're born into this world, you're born Black or you're born another color, whatever you're born. You can't help what color you were born. But look, I'm sorry, this other shit, well, let me see now. Do I want to be a man today or do I want to be a woman today? See, that's just like with Bruce Jenner, right? Bruce Jenner said, I want to turn over into a woman. He was a man, but he said he want to turn over to a woman, right? So now he sit up there, he'll say, but goddamn, life is hard for me now. But damn it, motherfucker, you change your mind. Shit. Make up your mind what you want to do. Which one you want to do. That's what I was talking about. Newstoter. They try to say that they got a hard life, but it was a decision that you made to choose to change over to something that you was not made to be. See, God made you to be a man, and y'all know Bruce Jenner was one of the best athletes in the world, right? But he made a choice to turn over into a female. So who fault is that? That's your damn fault. There it is. I land my plane, y'all.
Real talk. Let me welcome everybody that's coming up in the space. I see some of y'all coming in and out. I don't know what's going on with the space, y'all. It has been janky. I don't know what's going on with these Twitter spaces lately. So if you guys having technical issues, I'm sorry about that. But the connection and stuff, our people come in, they in here 1 minute, they out, they can hear, they can't hear. So I do apologize. I don't know. The last couple weeks on Twitter you've had some just horrible spaces with the actual technical side. So hoping that they can get this thing straightened out, get it better, because it has really, really messed up the actual just the functionality of the actual spaces. So hopefully, y'all, we can go ahead and get these spaces back straight. But I was in Relic space yesterday. I was in there for a minute, and then I started having issues. I couldn't hear anything. So I'm sure the same thing may be going on with some of you guys coming in and out the spaces. I see some people requesting to speak. I go ahead and I approve them. Next thing I know, they disappearing out the space. So if you guys listen to whatever and you're having some issues, you can always go on YouTube and listen to the actual listen to this also, as we're live streaming on there as well too. So just to give you guys a head up, we're talking about the emasculation of black men. We're talking about the U.S. wasn't built by immigrants. And let me just get back to this emasculation thing that we're talking about. I spoke earlier in the space and I said, and Vovo, I'm gonna get to you. Not all black men are being emasculated in this country. The black men who want to be emasculated, there are a lot of black men that want to be emasculated in this country. There are a lot of black men who don't mind putting on stockings and G-strings and skirts and kilts and bras and everything else that nobody's really twisting these people on. They want to get on. They're willing to take that bag. They're willing to do whatever it is. So not all black men in this country are being emasculated. That the ones that's getting on TV, they have a choice behind it. And their choice is that, hey, I want to do whatever it takes to make some money. And I don't care what I got to do. I don't care what I got to sell. I'll go ahead and I'll sell it. So not all black men. There are some black men that's in entertainment and acting and stuff. And it might not be a bunch of them, but it is some that's going to say, hey, I'm not putting on a damn dress. I'm not putting on this. I'm not going to play this role. I'm not going to say this line. I'm not going to play this character. So there's some black men that are actually standing up saying, I'm not going to do it. On the other hand, there are other black men that say, hey, I don't mind it. It's just acting. It's just entertainment. It ain't hurting nobody. Let me go ahead. I need to get that money. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So go ahead and pay me, and I will get up here and I will strut my stuff up here on TV. I don't care. It's my prerogative. It's my body. I'll do whatever I want to. So we're talking about that. We're also talking about, like I say, the country wasn't built by immigrants. Donald Trump came, and years ago he admitted that it was Black Americans, and he said that other people contributed well, but Black Americans contributed a lot to building this country and didn't get the actual credit they deserve, and are finally getting some of the credit that they deserve. I agree with him on most of that. They deserve a hell of a lot more credit. They were influential, and they were the most important component in building this country up, building its wealth, building its infrastructure, and everything else. And they did not get the credit. And we like to go ahead, and in this country, people like to get up here and say this is a country of immigrants and this and that. Not totally true. There were people in this country that Black people came in this country. They were not immigrants. Okay. Whether you came on that slave ship, whether you were some of the Black people that was already here, you're not immigrants. You had Native Americans that was also here in this country as well too. So not everybody that came to the United States of America is an immigrant. Not everybody's contribution level in this country is equal either. Very few groups, very few consider their contribution level is that of Black Americans. You can sit up here and you can say that the Asians built the actual rail system. That's not totally accurate as well either. Okay. They built it out west, up in north and the south and stuff. Black Americans was building that up. That infrastructure came from Black Americans. Black Americans were more vital to the actual American system than any of these other groups. And the only thing more valuable than Black Americans when they were cargo in this country was the actual land itself. So that's what we're talking about tonight, guys. If you can come up, like I say, the spaces, have been just been hellacious the past few days. You have people in and out, people trying to come up and speak. I think Asani, I think his name has been trying to request to come up and speak. Every time I approve him, he's falling out the space. So we just trying to go ahead and get as many people up here that want to speak. We're talking about these two topics. So if you guys feel free, come on and chime in. Like I say, I have no control of what's going on. Our co-host situation been messed up. Ray been trying to, I sent him the co-host. It got to the point where I can't send any more co-host invites. He's been in and out the space. Ray, I know you've been trying to get up in the space. That's why I've been keeping you as a speaker, but I know it's just the space is messed up. So anybody that wants to speak tonight, by all means, go ahead and speak. Let me give a shout out to some of our people up here. I see Judge Sarah. I see Lisa. I see Truth. I see Diane. I see a bunch of people coming up in the space. Tarek. Hey, I apologize, guys, for the space. It's just we have no control about that. Hey, ask Elon Musk what's going on. We should have kept some of those engineers left over from Twitter. I know they was Jack Dorsey people, but we need some more engineers on here. We need to fix some of this stuff that's going on with these Twitter spaces because they have been completely a mess of late. Vovo, you got it.
Yeah, I want to speak on that one lady real fast. The lady, the Arab lady or whatever, she just centering herself into the conversation. That's all that is. I heard her say that she wanted to run for Senate. Why would she want to do that? She also said that she don't know much about reparations and she needs to learn more. But why would she want to run for Senate when she don't even know the history of the country? She's just looking up to that Umar lady, whatever her name is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Omar's. Yeah, Representative Omar. That's what she looks up to.
Yeah, that's the only reference that she got to success in this country. That's what she aspired to be. But she ain't got the. I heard her speak. She's dumb as a box of rocks. She's an idiot. She just centering herself in the conversation. That's all that's about. As far as the Donald Trump thing, I was saying it when Trump was running. I was like, man, black people better vote for Trump. If you think about it, Trump ain't really do nothing to hurt black people. He was trying to help black people, but it's the Trump base. That's what made it hard for black people not to vote for Trump because of his base. You know, it's hard to vote for somebody when your base, when all these Trump supporters are just flat out white supremacists. You know what I mean? Flat out white supremacists. That's hard to vote for. But if you look at what Trump did as president, he ain't do nothing to hurt us. He helped black people. He was the only president that said, what's going on with black people? Come on then. We're going to invite black people to the White House, and we're going to turn the cameras on. Let's figure this thing out. I say this all the time. Who did they send? Who went up there? You can look this up yourself. Goofy ass Kanye West. None of these intelligent, big brains, all these speakers that got something to say about everything, why they ain't go up there? Kanye West went up there talking about planes and our president need to look fly and just goofy shit. Trump was inviting everybody, and then everybody that black that went to the White House to go see Trump, they called him a coon and a sellout. What he doing talking to Trump? Black people, man, we can't get out of our own way, man. Trump wanted to do a form of reparation. He said, y'all vote for me, I'll do the platinum plan. That's a start. That's something he offered us something specific. You know what I mean? He gave Jack Johnson a pardon. That was, it was 100 years too late, but still, he didn't have to do that. Like man, black people, man, that's what be irritating me. I kept saying, hey man, this the guy to vote for, man. I'm looking at his resume. I don't care nothing about the Trump supporters. I don't care nothing about none of that. I care about what he did. He did everything that he was supposed to do. It was something that, as far as the United States being built by immigrants, the immigrants ain't built nothing. They can't even build nothing in their homeland. These people ain't no builders. These people ain't what they built. They came and joined some shit that was already pumping, some shit that was already popping. They came in like the audacity of these people. That's why I say this all the time. The foreigner will always steal from the native. These people, listen, when I start getting into this, right, I started looking back at these people's culture and history. These people live in foul over there. These people in the jungle eating spiders, roaches, rats, snakes, anything that crawl on the earth, dogs, cats. They over there in the desert flying missiles into each other and rockets into each other and blowing themselves up and blowing each other up. These people down there in Latin America walking around doped out. The whole Latin America is one big drug war. That's what Latin America is. That's where all the best drugs come from there. That's all they know for is drugs. Doing drugs. The whole Latin America is doped up. Period. That's why they can't get it together. These people come up here, take a shower, put on the haircut, and then goddamn start wagging their finger at us. These people ain't built nothing. And this, I'm gonna close with this, right? If America go bad right now, let's say America got fucked up, we gonna be the only ones still here, the Black Americans. These people will leave America. They will leave if they left their race and they left their homeland and they left their whole culture behind because they was experiencing tough times. Do y'all think they won't leave America? I'll land with that, bro.
Real talk. I mean, and here's the thing too. And Professor, what's the name of the Somalian woman name running her mouth again? What's her name again?
Her name is Shukri Adaraman.
Okay.
She's Somalian.
Now here's somebody. Here's somebody that's Somalian that if you ask them if they black, they gotta think twice about it. She can't even come out and say. She'll say that she's Somalian or she's African or she's whatever tribe or whatever. But if you ask her she's black, she's definitely against that. So she's sitting up here running her mouth. And like I said, your country, your region of the world that you come from, you're the last person to sit up here and talk about what black people need to do. Okay, you need to go back home. And then here's the thing about it. If you had such pride in your people, such pride in your culture, because first thing we hear is that black people, black Americans have no culture. Well, the first thing you should do is, hey, you came and you got educated and you also have some money. Why not go back to your home and take that and rebuild your land up? That's the first thing. If you were so prideful, if you care so much about where you came from, your heritage, your culture, your tribe or whatever, you would go ahead and take your Western education. You would take your Western money that you have in your bank account and you would go back to your homeland and you would start building and start educating and start training and start teaching and start setting examples for your own people and your country. But you won't do that because like Professor said, you want to sit over here, you want to come over here and Volvo, you want to come over here and you want to criticize black Americans. Black Americans gave every person that's an immigrant in this country, including the white ones, an actual lane to actually run to. Okay. A bunch of you get benefits from the civil rights movement that black people died for, that your people had no hand in doing whatsoever. And as soon as you get straight, as soon as you get a little something, then the first thing you do is go ahead and turn on black people. Why can't black people pull themselves up? Why can't black people do this? Why are black people so lazy? Why is there so much black on black crime? Check it. I guarantee you there's less black on black crime in America than it is in Somalia. You know why? For the simple fact that Somalia, whether you guys want to admit it, and I know you have a culture identity crisis. I know the man in the mirror thing doesn't really work with you guys, but there's less black on black crime in America than Somalia because Somalia is a black nation. So the bulk of the people over there killing each other are black people. I know you guys think that you're closer to Arab and you think that you're closer to white and you think you're closer to the Asiatic and all this other stuff. But actuality, when you come over, they give you a reality check that you're black. So you're not a black American, but you are still part of the black diaspora. So my thing to anybody sitting up here, and the first thing they do is they try to go ahead and denigrate black folks and say, well, you know, black Americans, they aren't doing this in this country. They're not doing this. They're not doing that or whatever. They'll start even playing little semantic games saying that you got this group, this demographic of black people test higher, score higher, make more money, or have more housing and this and that. They'll never compare with the actual black American as a whole to the actual place that these other people come from. You'll never say, well, you know, the average black American has a higher education level than the average Somalian or Nigerian. They'll never do anything like that. They'll never say the average Black American has a greater income, a greater quality of life. They'll go ahead and they'll take 1 million people and compare them to 40 million people and sit up here and try to make it work for them. So that's the issue I have with a lot of this stuff that goes on here, because you have the United States playing these games and stuff like that. And a lot of these people that should be grateful to Black Americans, they sit up here and they stab them in the back as soon as they can get up on their feet. You done came up off of the Black struggle, whether you know that or not. Okay, you're getting all kind of loans and grants. You're getting all kind of you're able to go into programs because of things that happened in the 1960s, stuff that was not even included, not even for your group of people. Yet you can go ahead and you can benefit from it. And you want to sit up here and give us your ass to kiss and tell us how much better you are than us. And you won't even take what you learn in the West and go back home and fix up your country. You have your own country, your own land, you're in your ancestral homeland. You won't go back there. No, you're so content coming to the United States of America and marrying somebody that's not even part of your group. A lot of times that you think you've hit the jackpot if you marry a white person. You don't even try to marry your own Somalian people. You come over here and you try to marry white because you think that marrying white is a step up. You consider your own self an inferior. You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, how can I get better? Okay, the number one way I can get better is by marrying a white person. You sitting up here talking all this noise, the same with the Asians. And I've been telling Black people that Asians benefited. You had Frederick Douglass up here talking about trying to defend the Chinese people back when he was just a slave himself, after he came out of slavery, trying to help them. And as soon as the Asian people get up on their feet, they sitting up here talking about the Ivy Leagues are discriminating against them, and they have superior test scores and Black people, and they're allowing Black people to come in because of affirmative action and stuff. Affirmative action, which they've benefited from as well, too, whether they want to admit it or not. A program that they shouldn't even been in. Okay, I had this discussion with somebody one time, and I was saying, and they telling me I'm a damn fool. I said, look here. Affirmative action. I said these programs that was in the civil rights movement was meant for Black people, the descendants of slaves. They weren't meant for white women. They weren't meant for the handicapped. They weren't meant for Asian. They weren't meant for Hispanic. They weren't meant for Arabs. They weren't meant for the Pacific people. They were meant for one group of people because of the horrors and the tragedy and everything that they went through in this country. And they told me, well, you know what? I don't see a problem with that. This is another Black person. I don't care. Like, you know, if a handicapped person could get something that's beneficial to them because of what we went through, then I say, hey, they deserve it. And I said, well, hold on. Why can't they have something? I don't have a problem with you doing something for a handicapped person. They absolutely should. I said, but why does it have to be tied into what Black people get in? Because they don't ever do that with anybody else. If it's something that's tied in for the Jewish community, they're not gonna shoehorn the Asians in there. They're not gonna shoehorn white women in there, or I shouldn't say white women because they are actually technically white. They're not gonna shoehorn Hispanics in there or whatever. But if it's something exclusively for Black people, they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna shoehorn other groups and other ethnic people up into that situation. They want to water it down as much as possible. And then when they sit up here and everything's watered down, and instead of you getting 100% of something, you got 12% or 13%, they'll sit up here and say, well, you see what we did for you. We gave you opportunity. We gave you the resources. You just didn't take advantage. Well, listen, all of the resources were supposed to come to me because this was meant for me and me exclusively and nobody else. So that's the situation. Now you see Black people. Every time I turn around, you got this one Asian cat. He's up here. He's posting videos about Black people are beating on Asians and this and that, and Black people how violent. I don't even know his name or whatever. You got a bunch of these different these people on Twitter and YouTube and stuff posting their videos and stuff up here, trying to say how Black people are committing violence against this specific group, how Black people are doing this, how Black people are doing that. And here's the thing, and we've mentioned that before. If Black people are so violent, if Black people was attacking you so much, if Black people was doing this and that and everything else that you claim to do, why do you constantly put your damn businesses in their neighborhoods? They are the biggest source of income for you guys. So if they was this bad to you, why are you constantly trying to find new ways and new avenues to go ahead and put your business over there? Because you know it's a lottery. Because you know that Black people are a giant rabbit foot. They're good luck for you. You know, if I can get myself in one of these nigga communities, I'm going to come up. And it ain't going to take no 20, 30 years. In 5, 10 years, I'm going to be a damn millionaire. Just God, whatever you do, please, I get to America. Forget even me getting my citizenship. Just put me in a nigga community and I'll be a rich person. I'll be rich. It won't take no 20, 30 years. I won't need all that. Just get me in a nigga community and I'll be rich before you know it. DJ, what's up? You got your hand up. You got it.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds, my bad.
Let me kick it to Volvo, then. I kick it to Volvo and come back to you. Go ahead, Volvo. Hey, real quick, Volvo, before we get to you, for everybody in the space, y'all, we got the Newstoter. We got the actual newsletter and the YouTube channel up in the Jumbotron. Please, if you have not, go ahead and subscribe to both of those. Go ahead and subscribe to both of those. Also, remember that Newstoter is the largest Black-owned Black media news curation platform today in America. If you can, support us on Cash App. That is $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter. Once again, Newstoter is the largest Black American-owned media news curation platform today in America. If you do not have a Cash App, then you can support us on PayPal or Venmo. That's also in the Jumbotron as well, too. The Cash App is $Newstoter. Volvo, go ahead. You there, Volvo? Uh-oh. Is Volvo in the Matrix? It don't take much to get in the Matrix in these spaces now. Volvo, can you hear me? I don't know. Volvo may be in the Matrix, everybody. He's awfully quiet there, so I'm not sure. Like I say, these spaces have been absolute garbage lately. And that's putting it mildly. That's putting it nicely. Like these spaces have really just messed up the whole message that we've been trying to push out and get forward as well, too. So, Ray, I know you had requested to come up as a speaker. I don't know. It's dropping you. I know you've been having some issues for the past couple of weeks with these spaces as well, too. So, yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Go ahead, Eli, and yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, damn! I lost my train. I thought I was there. I'm trying to come up, but it won't let me. It was something you touched on about the immigrants. Something about the lady. Oh, man. But what I say is that she need to go back and run for Congress in her own country. Why not try that out? You know what I mean? Like you know, like why do you want to come over here and run for Congress and speak about shit that you know nothing of?
Somalia has a failed state. They don't even have a government right now. So she can't run for shit over there.
Well, she can take some ideas back.
Well, yeah, she can. You're right about that. But yeah, she can't run for shit over there.
Right, yeah. I mean, like shit, they can use some good ideas. We got enough ideas over here. That's my thing. Take your ideas back over there, because that's all the politicians can do. Is just push ideas. Go over there and try to push some ideas over there. You know what I mean? Like, what you want to come over here and brag your finger for? You know what I mean? But what they ain't really realizing is that they on the wrong side of history. For some reason, when you go against Black Americans, your ass on the wrong side of history. There's always, in the moment, we always seem like we wrong. But after we tell the story, when history tell the story, they always on the wrong side of history. This time that we in right now, y'all, this is a part of our story. We gonna talk about the times when the Africans came all the way to America, got the hook up, and then wagged their finger at us and joined white supremacy. We're gonna talk about the times when the Latinos did us like this, and when the Asians was talking about stop Asian hate while they opening up a nail salon, making millions of dollars in the Black neighborhood. All this is a part of American history. They don't really get that right now. These people ain't going nowhere. Ain't no way to get all of them out the country. I wish we could. I wish we could get all of them out the country, but it is what it is. They here now. You know what I mean? And this is a part of American history. You know what I mean? And they on the wrong side of it. We is right. You know what I mean? Like, let me say this too, right? White people don't really want these people in the country. Not in these large numbers that they coming over here. You know what I mean? The Republicans is going to do everything in their power to kick as many of them out if they get the presidency next year. You know what I mean? Like, and we need to join that battle because they got to go. We the only ones that suffer at the hands of immigration. You know what I mean? 50 years ago, it was mainly black people and white people in this country. All the immigrants came to our communities. If you go to white America, when you leave the city and you go to these little small little rural areas, it's all white. I'm talking about 90% white, 95% white. Ain't no foreign flags hanging up around there. It ain't no Arabs running the corner store, ain't no Asian nail salon, none of that shit around there. They keep all that shit in their community, in their little small little hillbilly towns. They keep all that shit right there. You know what I mean? We the ones that suffer at the hands of immigration. You know what I mean? Like they come to our community. You know what I mean? And then now we can see that it's a bad idea to accept these people in. Because now we got Latinos talking about we created hip hop. What? Now we got these Mexicans sitting in city council, sitting around discussing how they gonna undermine black people. Now we got Asian nail shops in our community that's disrespecting our women. Now we got the Arab at the corner store snatching out of our hand, looking at us sideways while we come to do business in his business. So that's a mistake, accepting everybody in your community. That's what I was saying earlier. I'm not with all these new ideas and accepting everybody out. Go over there and do with your people. I'm worried about my people. I'm standing on Black American business from here on out. I appreciate you letting me speak, brother.
Also blame the black politicians. No problem. You're right, Vovo. And like you said, that if you have that much to say about black Americans and what they need to do, then go ahead back home and, like you say, run for Congress or whatever version that you guys have in your country. Go over there and straighten the situation out, because check it, black Americans are still living better than the people in your homeland, and by a large margin. And unlike what a lot of these immigrants think in this country, because let's be honest, a lot of these immigrants think that the reason black Americans are doing as well as they're doing is because white people have put us in that position. They'll sit up here and they'll say that you guys were nothing but slaves, and if it hadn't been for white people, you would be in a worse predicament than us. So that's why a lot of them say they have everything. They have their own land and everything. The only thing they don't have in their countries are white people. So they want to sit over here and they want to say that the only reason that you guys are living better than the people in our homeland is because white Americans. It's not the fact that you guys built everything, that you got over 50-some thousand inventions, that you got robbed of and everything else, that it's white folks are the reason why you guys are living so good. So my thing, and I'm with you on that, Volvo, if you think that you can do it better, if you think, because I know a lot of times you say, well, we make better grades than you guys and we got a higher income and this and that or whatever, but when the fact of the matter is that your country, where you come from, if we're going to go ahead and we're going to start comparing black people, because comparing 45-50 million black people to 2 million black people, to me, is not a fair comparison. Now, what we can do is compare 45-50 black Americans to the 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 million black people in your homeland and see who's actually doing better. But we don't want to do that, because if we do that, then you're going to say, well, that's unfair and that's not right, and you shouldn't be doing that. And the only reason you guys are living this way is because you're in America. Yeah, dumbass, we're in America because, for one, it's our ancestral, it's our homeland, it's what we built. We built this from scratch. So America wouldn't be what it is today. America wouldn't have the wealth and everything it had without us. So go over back to your homeland and build up. But also this right here, you have a bunch of black people that's in Congress, in politics, that sit up here and they don't say anything. They sit up here and they pretend like they don't see what's going on. They have no fight in them. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to offend anybody. They sit up here and they allow their own people to get dragged through the mud on a daily routine, and they're quick to go out here and champion the rights for other groups. They won't do that for their own group. They'll sit up here and they'll make excuses why they can't come up here and champion the rights for black Americans. They got the first thing come out their mouth, we got to do this for any and everybody. We can't just do this for black people. We got to do it for everybody. But they'll sit up here and they'll sign bills exclusively for one group of people. You know, they'll sit up here and pretend that they can't do something specifically for black people because they represent all people, but they have no problem signing bills and helping passing bills and come up with resolutions and everything else specifically for one group of people. And I'm talking about the CBC. I'm talking about your congressmen. I'm talking about the couple black senators you got. I'm talking about all these black people in politics sit up here and they act like they can't do anything because this is exclusively for black people. We're stronger when we're all together. No, dumbass. It's proven time and time again. We're not stronger when we're all together. When everything gets all together, it gets watered down and we get left out. We need to look no further to the 1960s when we actually had power at our fingertips. We went ahead and we settled, and we said, okay, I think if we had these people as allies and this and that they'll really come through and they'll help us. And they showed you like, no, we're not your allies. We're only your allies when it's time to get something. Outside of that, we have no use for you. We don't care about you. We're looking to get power exclusively for our people, and I don't blame them. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to.
Can I chime in real fast, brother?
Real quick. I'm gonna get to you, Vovo. You're supposed to get power exclusively for your people, and then whatever you can do for somebody else, you do it. But you do first and foremost for you and your own people. That's like you having kids in your house, and then and God. And I know this is not the best example, but you got kids in your house. Okay, and it's time to feed them. But you, instead of you feeding the kids and you only got enough for your kids, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna split it with the neighbor kids. Yeah, the neighbor kids are hungry, and you definitely, if you can feed them, you can. But first and foremost, you got to feed your own kids. You got to feed your own children. And if there's anything left over, then you go ahead and you take it to the neighbor kids. You can't sit up here and you barely got enough scraps to feed your own kids. You say, you know what, kids? I know this is not going to sustain y'all for the night, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to feed these other kids with y'all, and hopefully y'all will have enough. It doesn't work like that. We're the only group of people on the face of the planet that thinks like that. We're the only group of people on the face of the planet that thinks like that. And thinking like that is a backward way of thinking, and that's why we're in the predicament that we're in. Vovo, go ahead real quick.
Yeah, I just want to say the reason why we'll never really truly have any allies. You just reminded. What I mean, the reason why is because it's a part of white supremacist culture to hate black people. That's a part of white supremacist culture. So in order for these people to be a real true ally, they would have to fight against white supremacy in order to be our ally. They will never go against white people. You will never see no Asians challenging white people on nothing, no African, no Latinos. You got to remember where they came from. They come from a third world country. It's a blessing for them to be here. They hit the lottery. They left some people behind. So they gonna always side with the white people over us. This our battle. This our fight. This a fight that we've been fighting for hundreds of years. And ain't nobody gonna come and join us in this fight. Appreciate you letting me speak, brother. I'm gonna have to drop down in a minute. I gotta go to work tomorrow. So.
Oh, no problem, man. Go ahead and even if you get a chance, I know you be driving them trucks. Continue to listen if you can. Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, just let me spit real quick. Somebody go into a dead zone.
Go ahead.
So Volvo, with that being said, what's the solution? And why ain't we reminded these people that our elders and ancestors don't fought to free these motherfuckers, yo? Let's get that shit straight. You would not be here or even probably be alive or born if it wasn't for our people fighting in World War I, II, Civil War, civil rights, all this other crap. So what gives these people the right to come in, like you said, and stick their finger up at us? So as far as the Trump situation, that's not nothing new. Trump been saying this shit for a long time, getting the Jumbotron, check the Dane Calloway video, Trump saying, you don't look like a Native American to me. So when they ask you who the Native Americans, these foreigners, you tell them you is, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell are you to even ask me some shit like that? I don't ask you where you come from. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Trump. Even though most people turned their back on Trump during his presidency because they ain't like the way he was talking. It wasn't nothing about no policy. We just didn't like the way he was talking. But that's how we talk up here in New York anyway. So what the hell was the problem? I guess it was everybody else throughout the country just wasn't feeling it. And then you got all the other shit that surrounded it. The way he was moving, some people might not like that, but everything that has come to light so far, shit, Trump was right about that shit. And I yelled there, man.
Hey, real quick, y'all.
Somebody asked me, my mic cut out and I dropped down. It was something you asked me? DJ was something. He said, something.
Oh, he was just responding to what you said, and he was just adding on to what you said.
Yeah, what's the solution, Volvo? You feel what I'm saying? Why these people feel like they could come wag their finger at us, like you said, when it was our elders and ancestors that went to war on behalf of these Jewish, Asians, different Asians. The only Asian when you come to this community, come to this country of America. Otherwise, you just Filipino, Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, Vietnamese. We don't Korean, South Korean. I got a Korean cousin, a couple cousins. I already know what it is. My uncle Larry, fought in the Korean War. I had some kids and bring them back over here. So I already know what it is and shit, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, what gives them the right to rag their finger up at us? And then, like I said, getting a Jumbotron, I hope it's there or down in the chat. It's a video by Dane Calloway. It's called, featuring Donald Trump. It's called "You Don't Look Like Indians to Me." So y'all need to watch that video and come back and, or at least look at it a little bit while we up here conversating. So you can come back with some more fire. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm going to yield there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I got my man Ray up here. Ray finally got up here, man. So I gotta let Ray go ahead and get it in. Ray, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I don't know how long it's gonna be for the kick me up out of space again, brother. It took me 7 tries to come up here.
I saw you.
Every time I would come up and actually request to speak, it would literally kick me out and say this space is closed.
Hey, Wi-Fi on the network, bro.
I'm on my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you might want to get that check. I'll talk to you later about that.
Yeah, we'll talk offline, man. But yeah, I just want to touch on what News was saying because, like we haven't fought in every single war. We've helped to actually, build this nation and make it is what it is today. White people can't even say that. They fought to destroy this nation. That's what the whole Civil War was about. They wanted to divide the nation. Come on, man. Let's be real. And I land up right now, man. But News, I got to talk to you something unrelated, but I'll talk to you offline, brother.
Okay.
Some people that I'll talk to you about.
Okay, just text me and let me know too, so we can talk. Real quick, okay. Iron Malt, let me go ahead and get you up in here for the space act up. So go ahead.
Yeah, the space been acting up for a little bit, but it's all good. The thing is, first, the problem solving. First, we need to delineate ourselves from the rest of the diaspora through the census. Every other group got their split cultures and split ethnic groups and all that. We need to have ours instead of them being this flat black. Second, we need to stop voting Democrat. I'm not a Republican, never will be, but we need to stop voting for these Democrat folks right about now, because sometimes if you remain silent, you're actually telling folks how you feel. We need to do that. Also, not only New York, Trump and all that stuff. I was down here and got ostracized for saying, hey, Trump got some good ideas, this and that and other. That don't mean I have to like them, but you don't have to like a person to see what they doing. So we need to stop with that. It ain't the whole section and group. When you got the LGBT, you got these white folks who are supremacists, not only on the Republican side, but on the Democratic side. It's the same thing. Two-headed beast, same belly. So it wasn't just East Coast, and there was a lot of folks saying this from every place I've been. Like, hey, Trump got some good ideas. Even my mom said that Trump got some good ideas and needed to stop these folks from the border. And you can stop these folks from the border is they got these cities for action. In every city, they got a cities for action. It's just like the HR 572. And with that, we need to let them know that, hey, we tired of getting these immigrants in here. When I was doing the feed the homeless stuff back in the days, one guy said, maybe I need to jump across the border, call myself Mexican, and come back on through and get fed. And I land my plane there.
All right, just to let everybody know, on Tuesday, we're going to have Vicky Dillard up in this space as well, too, guys. So y'all make sure y'all come Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have Vicky Dillard up in here. So she's going to be discussing a few things. One of the things about the actual role of Black women in the media. So you guys, if you have chance, please come on up here and join us that night. We look forward to having Miss Dillard up in the space as well, too. So, Ray, I see you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Obviously, I missed the majority of the conversation because I kept getting kicked out. So what is going on with Black men being emasculated? Are you talking about the A$AP Rocky and Rihanna magazine cover. Is that what you're talking about?
Bingo. We're talking about that. We was talking about the Jonathan Majors, the ebony cover. We was also talking about Juju Smith Shyster, the receiver for the Kansas City, Super Bowl week. The day of the game, he had on like the little kilt, the little dress or whatever as well too. And just my main thing I was saying, Ray, is that not all black men are being emasculated. The ones that want to be emasculated, that's on TV, they're actually choosing to go that route. That's what they're saying. That they actually, you got a lot of black men. A lot of black men ain't gonna allow you to put that stuff on them. But then for a bag, you got a certain group, a dynamic of black men who don't care. They want the money, they want the fame, they want the publicity. They have no problem with having a purse on their hip and having heels on and every lipstick or whatever. So a bunch of them, as much as we sit here and we say, well, yeah, black men been it's not like they don't have a choice in it. That's my thing, is that a lot of these black men, they have a choice in it and they're choosing this. They're black men that's not going to allow you to put them in this type of situation, but there are black men that don't care. They want the money, they want the fame, they want the attention, they don't mind it. So yeah, my thing is that no, when they say a black man been emasculated, my thing is like, yeah, some of them are, because the ones that are being emasculated, a lot of them are choosing it. But the average black man, I don't think, and I haven't met any of you guys in actual real life in this actual space here, but just from speaking to you guys a few times a week and stuff like that, I would think the vast majority of the black men in this space, if you was to say, hey, I'm going to dress you like Billy Porter, he'd be like, hell no. Nah. Like, you're not going to put me on no dress. You're not going to put no heels on me and all this other stuff. You're not going to put no eyeshadow on me and all this and long eyelashes and stuff like that. But you got a group of black people, a group of black men, and nobody's forcing them. Even people say, well, your career is being threatened. Hey, then your career just be threatened. There's people that walked away from Hollywood. There's people that walked away from the entertainment field that say, hey, I'm going to keep a bit of dignity instead of just trying to get paid here. So you got to go ahead and you got to decide that either you're going to let them buck break you or you're going to stand up. So it's a bunch of, and I don't think all of them being buck breaking. I think some of them are choosing. I think they come to them and say, hey, how do you feel about this? We'll give you 6 figures, or we'll give you this, we'll give you that. We'll set you up. And they say, hell yeah, go ahead. I'll do it. It's just entertainment. So that's what we was talking about there. We was talking about, America being built by immigrants as well too. And I talked about what Donald Trump said a few years ago, that, black Americans, how much they actually contribute to the actual building and development of this country, and that they were never really given their proper due. So we're just talking about that just to catch you up to speed. Also check your text. I text you back as well too. So check that when you get a chance as well too. But go ahead, Ray.
So yeah, I was just gonna add on really quickly. I don't know if anyone's seen this video clip that's been circulating with the brother Terry Crews. Obviously, everyone knows him as not Terry Crews, Tiny Liston. He was the brother that played Debo on Friday. Was old school WWF fans. He played Zeus. He was the character Zeus back in the day on wrestling. But yeah, this brother, he had an old clip that circulated. He talks about when Friday was coming out and stuff. And I guess they tried them, this whole dress thing. They tried the same thing with Dave Chappelle and Flip Wilson and other brothers. I might be showing my age talking about Flip Wilson, but they offered to get his brother a dress, and Tiny basically said, it was like, I play tough guys on TV, but at the end of the day, I'm a Christian. I am a man. You are not about to put me in no damn dress. And then the reason why I'm bringing this up, obviously, we're talking about the demasculation of the black man. So after he refused to do it, remember Tiny went to jail or got knocked out or something, however it ended in Friday, and they brought Terry Crews in. And Terry Crews is a big buff guy. He's supposed to be like the new Debo. And obviously, if you remember back in the day, Terry Crews was kind of bucking his eyes a little bit. And he was freaking, acting like he had this thing for Tupac and what he gave him.
Yeah, I remember that part.
They can't get one Negro, they'll just go after the next.
But now, in fairness, not to cut you off, Ray, that was Ice Cube movie, so Ice Cube had to either put that in there, or his writers had to put that in there as well too.
Ice Cube doesn't own Friday, from what I know. It's not him. It's those I can't think of the name of that company that owns it. Yeah, he doesn't even own the rights to Friday.
Now he doesn't completely own the rights, but that doesn't mean that he didn't produce and write it. I believe he did write it and stuff like that as well too. He came up with the actual storyline. He doesn't own the actual, like you said, the actual rights because of the actual, I guess the company does, but I'm sure he had something to do with the actual writing of the script and everything as well too.
Yeah. I'll land there, man. Like I said, we gotta talk offline. Even Brother Reverend Tim, man, your name has been brought up in the slander and all this other stuff, man. It's just really getting crazy. I'll let Bobo get ahead going. I might just go ahead and just talk about it. I'm trying to stay on topic, but we got a lot of all-code people within, our even in these Twitter spaces, man. It's just our people just talking crazy about us, man. And I know it's a recorded space. I just want to go and let all the family know, what's really going on.
Well, let's go ahead because I'm not going to keep the space open much longer. So let's just go ahead and we'll talk offline about that because, like I say, the space has just been so messed up tonight. How they just kicking people out and stuff like that. I may even let Volvo be the next the last speaker because just so many people are saying that hey they coming in and they're getting kicked out. They can't hear anything. So let's go ahead, Volvo. I'm gonna let you be the next speaker. We've been going about a little over an hour and a half, but the space has just been so bad tonight in terms of the actual connection. And then we're gonna close it down for the night.
Yeah, I just want to say somebody brought up about the immigration thing earlier. I feel something that's even better than a wall need to be a punishment. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they breaking the law. We got borders for a reason. So it needs to be a punishment. If you want to cheat our border, if you trying to cheat our border, then it needs to be common knowledge that it's a punishment for that. If we catch you in this country illegally, it's a punishment. I can't hear you. I'm talking about. Oh, you can't hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you, Ray. Ray, you might be in the Matrix. Can you hear me, Ray?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't hear.
Yeah, Volvo, he's speaking right now. So yeah. That's why I say this space has just been this space has just been bad.
That was all I wanted to say.
I didn't even press on mic. I didn't think y'all could hear me say that.
But yeah, man, y'all, this space has just really been frustrating tonight. And I got a special space I want to hold tomorrow, but I'm just wondering how that's going to be. Hopefully the one with Vicky Diller to be okay. But the past week or so, our space has really it's just really the connection issues have really been bad. So we're not going to hold anybody longer tonight, guys. There's a couple other spaces that's going on. Check out the Marcel space. I think he has an update with the farmers from Colorado, guys. And we're going to go ahead and we'll catch up with everybody tomorrow. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you then. On Monday, check us out, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, everybody be good, and we'll see y'all then.
Hey, get in that Jumbotron. Check that video. Dan Calloway and Trump. I'm telling you, it was fire. But good night.
Good night.
I'm going to hit your line right after this news.
All right.